I genuinely think social media has convinced an insane amount of people that becoming a content creator is basically like some fucking cheat code out of having a normal life. Like I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day and he is in his 30s and he was basically asking when the fuck did everybody decide their dream job was just going live? And he was saying how his 16-year-old cousin is always talking about building her community and how he goes to this coffee shop every morning and how he talks to his barista. And she was telling him how she streams makeup after work. And his nephew literally quit his part-time job to focus on streaming full-time when he had like 12 followers. 12. Bro, that's not even a classroom. That's like your cousins and two random dudes from Lithuania watching. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you get what I mean. And I started thinking about it because he kind of has a point. Like, when did everybody decide that streaming was just the thing they're going to do? And I'm not saying this like streaming isn't a real career, because obviously it is. There are people making ridiculous amounts of money doing this shit. And I'm also literally making a YouTube video right now. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, content creation is stupid. That would be hypocritical as fuck. But I think there's this weird difference between people who genuinely want to create something and entertain people and people who just don't want to have a regular job. And I think those two groups have started getting mixed together. Because let's be honest, bro, you look at somebody like Kai Cenat now, and what do you see? You see this dude in a mansion hanging out with his friends, celebrities coming over, playing games, laughing, doing random shit, getting donations, making millions of dollars. And obviously you're going to look at that and be like, bro, I could do that. Like, shit, I hang out with my friends. I'm funny sometimes. I play games. Where's my $1,000,000? But that's the problem. You're looking at Kai now. You're looking at the final form. You're looking at the guy after millions of people already care about what he's doing. You didn't see everything that had to happen before people gave a fuck about him sitting in a room. And I'm not a Kai historian or some shit, but obviously he didn't just turn on a camera random Tuesday, sit there with his boys, and then the next morning Nike is calling him. There were years of making content, networking, collaborating, learning how to be entertaining, figuring out what makes people stay, figuring out how to create moments that get clipped, understanding internet culture, being consistent, all that shit. And now that he's at the point where he's at, yeah, he probably can just sit there and talk because people are there for him. Kai is the content now, but not you, not the average person. If nobody knows who the fuck you are, you can't just copy what Kai does and expect the same results. That's like watching Steph Curry fuck around in practice and shoot some random three-pointer and going, bro, I could do that. Yeah, you can physically throw a basketball at a hoop. That's not the part you're missing. You're missing the entire fucking journey that made people care about watching him do it. And I think Streamer University is like the perfect example of this mentality. Because, bro, the way some people were acting trying to get into Streamer University was insane. And let me say this before people think I'm hating. If you've actually been streaming, you've been building something, you're learning the craft, you're trying to get your name out there, and there's an opportunity to get around Kai and a bunch of other creators, obviously apply. That's an insane opportunity. But I'm talking about the people treating Streamer University like the fucking Hunger Games. Except the prize is never having to work at Amazon or some shit. Like, bro gets inside the gates and immediately calls his mom, telling her to quit her job because he made it. Like, getting accepted itself is the career, and that's where the whole thing starts feeling like a lottery ticket. Because some people are chasing exposure before they even have anything worth exposing. Like, bro, you don't know how to use OBS. You don't know anything about audio settings. You don't know how an IRL streaming 2 kits works. You don't know what an IRL backpack is. You don't know how to make segments. You don't have an idea for a stream. You've never edited anything. You don't know what makes you different. Your entire streaming career is pressing broadcast gameplay on the PlayStation menu, but you're standing outside Streamer University like Kai is about to touch your forehead and transfer the content creator powers into your body. And that's what I mean when I say the desperation is higher than the preparation, because imagine doing this with literally any other career. Imagine somebody saying, I want to be a filmmaker. Okay, what have you filmed? Nothing. Do you know how to use a camera? No. Do you know how to edit? No. Do you write? No. Okay. What do you actually want to do? I don't know. I just saw Christopher Nolan is rich. Bro, people would look at you like you're fucking insane, but with streaming, it's somehow normal. What do you stream? I don't know yet. Okay. What makes you entertaining? Me and my boys be chilling. Bro, everybody has boys. Everybody chills. Why the fuck do I need to watch your boys chill? That's the question I feel like people don't ask themselves anymore. Why should somebody watch you? Because somewhere along the way, people forgot that the viewer is basically the customer. And obviously, you're not buying something every time you watch content, but you're giving somebody your time, and time is valuable. So, what are you giving me back? A comedian makes me laugh. A really good gamer shows me something I can't do. Somebody making documentaries teaches me something. A storyteller tells me a good story. A finance guru, even if he's completely full of shit, at least understands he's selling you the idea that you can make money. There's something there, some type of value. And value doesn't have to mean education. Being funny is value. Being interesting is value. Being ridiculously good at a game is value. Having insane life experiences is value. Even just having a really entertaining personality is value. But you have to have something. You can't just go, well, I'm live. Okay? Congratulations. Like, bro, people treat just chatting like it means just existing. And honestly, I think just chatting might be one of the hardest types of content because there's nothing protecting you. You don't have a game carrying the stream. You don't have some crazy challenge. You don't have a documentary topic. There's no editing to cut out the boring shit. It's just you. So you better be interesting. You better be funny. You better have something to say. You better know how to keep a conversation going. Because if you're sitting there for 6 hours silently hitting a vape while 3 people watch you, maybe the algorithm isn't your biggest issue. And again, I'm not talking about somebody who streams to 3 people because they enjoy it. That's completely different. Bro, if you come home from work, go stream for 2 hours, and you have 4 regulars who come in and you guys talk and you're having fun, that's actually cool. That's a hobby. There's nothing wrong with that. The weird part is when somebody has 4 viewers and starts acting like their day job is the thing getting in the way of their streaming career. Like, bro, I don't know how to tell you this. Maybe don't quit yet. Maybe let's give this a little more time. And then there's the IRL streaming shit, because now everybody is live. You've got Uber drivers streaming, people walking around the city streaming, people streaming themselves at work, nurses making videos during shifts, people going to Target live, people eating live, people sleeping live. Bro, everything is content now. And I think that's another weird thing social media has done to us. At some point, people stopped asking, is this interesting? And started asking, can I put a camera on this? And those aren't the same question, because a cab driver can make amazing content. Imagine a New York cab driver who's been driving for 30 years telling crazy stories about the people he's picked up. I'd watch that. A nurse explaining what hospital life is actually like. Interesting. A construction worker showing people how buildings actually get built. Interesting. A garbage collector showing what happens to all the shit we throw away. That could be interesting as fuck. Normal people can make great content. I'm not saying everybody needs to be a celebrity doing backflips off a building, but your normal life doesn't automatically become interesting because there's now an iPhone pointed at you. That's the difference. It's like people confuse the ability to broadcast with the ability to entertain. And I think TikTok is a huge reason this happened, because TikTok did something genuinely amazing. It basically destroyed a lot of the old gatekeeping around entertainment. Back in the day, if you wanted millions of people to see you, you needed Hollywood, you needed a record label, you needed a TV network, you needed connections. Some executive had to decide you were worth putting in front of people. Now, some random funny kid in his bedroom can post something and have 10 million people see it. That's fucking insane when you really think about it. And that's good. There are probably so many talented people who never would have gotten a chance before social media. But at the same time, TikTok gave everybody a microphone, and we forgot that maybe everybody did not need a fucking microphone, because now the space is just flooded. Everybody is a creator. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody is streaming. Everybody is reacting. Everybody is clipping. Everybody is making content about content about content. And bro, Something else I've noticed is that streaming is getting so big that now even people who already made it in completely different entertainment industries are becoming streamers. You got rappers going live for hours, athletes are streaming, actors are popping up on Twitch, comedians are doing it. People who already have an established career are looking at the streaming space like, oh shit, I need to get over there too. And honestly, maybe that's just survival. I don't know. Entertainment changes. At one point, you needed radio, then you needed MTV, then YouTube, then Instagram, TikTok. Now, maybe streaming is just becoming another place. Entertainers have to exist because that's where the younger audience is. Like if you're a rapper now, maybe just dropping an album every 2 years isn't enough anymore. People want to see you every day. They want clips. They want to know your personality. They want to watch you react to shit. They want you playing games with the streamer. They want access to you constantly. And I understand why entertainers do it. Because if the audience is moving somewhere, you kind of have to follow them. But at the same time, I think that makes the illusion even stronger for regular people watching. Because now you open a stream and there's a famous rapper just sitting on a couch talking. And you think, see, that's literally all you have to do. No, bro. You're forgetting the part where he became a famous fucking rapper first. People didn't randomly discover this dude sitting on his couch and decide to watch him for 6 hours. They already cared who he was. Again, you're looking at the final form. And now you have actual dreamers in this space getting buried under mountains of slop. And that's the part that actually kind of bothers me. Because there are people who genuinely love the art of entertaining people. Like somebody who's sitting there learning editing because they want to make the funniest videos possible. Some kid writing skits, somebody learning animation, somebody who wants to make documentaries, somebody who's been practicing stand-up, somebody spending weeks planning a crazy stream idea, people who genuinely want to make another human being laugh or think or feel something. And then they're competing for attention with some dude who's live smoking on his couch watching, Family Guy. And again, maybe that dude is fucking hilarious. Maybe he's the funniest smoker who ever lived. Fair enough. If people actually enjoy watching him, then he's entertaining them. But there's so much low effort shit being pumped out now that I feel like the word creator barely even means anything anymore. You have somebody who spends 6 months making a documentary, creator. Somebody writing and filming comedy sketches, creator, animator, creator. Somebody building these giant live events with hundreds of people behind the scenes, creator. And then somebody turns their PlayStation on, says absolutely nothing for 4 hours, also creator. Like technically, yeah. But come on, bro. Those are not the same thing. And I think the sad part is that the people who actually care about making something good can start feeling like they're doing something wrong because their shit doesn't immediately blow up. You spend a week making something you're proud of, 300 views, some dude accidentally falls out of his chair while he's high, 12 million views, and now you're sitting there like, maybe I should start smoking and falling. But that's the internet. Sometimes the dumb shit wins. It always has. You can't control that. But I do think the amount of slop has made it harder to even find the people who actually have something interesting to offer. And there's another part of this that I think is even deeper. I think social media made being a normal person feel like failure because think about what we're exposed to every day. You open TikTok, 21-year-old with a Lamborghini, 23-year-old in a mansion, some dude your age saying he makes $50,000 a month, streamer flying private, influencer in Dubai, crypto guy saying you're broke because you work a 9 to 5. And then you look at your own life, you're making, $60,000, you have a regular apartment, you go to work, you come home, and suddenly you're like, bro, am I losing? No, you're just a normal fucking person. Most people are normal people, but I think our generation has been exposed to so many extreme lifestyles that normal life started looking embarrassing. Being a teacher isn't enough. Being a nurse isn't enough. Being a mechanic isn't enough. You need to be a brand. You need followers. You need passive income. You need to escape the matrix. You need to be famous. And streaming becomes this perfect fantasy because It looks like the easiest way out. No boss, no commute, wake up whenever, play video games, hang out with your friends, make millions. Who wouldn't want that? I understand why people want it. I would like that shit too. But that's not the actual job. That's what the job looks like when you're already one of the most successful people in the entire industry. And even those people are probably doing way more behind the scenes than we see. That's the thing. Being a creator isn't escaping responsibility. You're just trading one kind of responsibility for another. Now you're responsible for getting people to watch. You're responsible for having ideas. You're responsible when the video sucks. You're responsible when nobody shows up. You're responsible for your money. You're responsible when the algorithm changes. There's no manager coming into your office going, hey, here's your assignment for this week. You have to figure the shit out yourself, which is why I think it's funny when people view content creation as the lazy career. Like, yeah, you could technically go live and do nothing. Nobody's stopping you, but then don't be shocked when nobody watches. And I don't think the dream itself is stupid. That's probably the main thing. Go stream. Seriously. Make the YouTube channel, make TikToks, try comedy, make a documentary, start the podcast, even though we probably have enough podcasts right now, but fuck it. Try. I'm literally trying right now. This video could get 20 views. I have no fucking idea. But at least ask yourself what you're actually trying to give people. Because pressing go live isn't the work. Getting into Streamer University isn't the work. Meeting Kai isn't the work. Getting one viral TikTok isn't the work. Those things can give you an opportunity, but exposure is supposed to multiply something that already exists. You need something there first. An idea, a skill, a personality, a perspective, something. And I think that's what people forget when they look at the final form of these huge creators. They don't see the thing that made people start watching in the first place. They just see the reward. And honestly, I think that's why the whole streaming dream is so attractive now. It's almost like the modern lottery ticket. Except instead of buying a scratch off, people buy a webcam. And I'm not even trying to crush anybody's dream because maybe you are talented. Maybe you do have something. Maybe the reason you're sitting at 3 viewers right now is literally just because nobody has discovered you yet. That happens too. There are insanely talented people who never get their opportunity. That's entertainment. Luck is absolutely involved. Connections are involved. Timing is involved. The algorithm is involved. I'm not going to sit here and pretend the best person always wins because that's obviously bullshit. But I think that's even more reason to take the craft seriously because you can't control whether Kai sees your clip. You can't control whether TikTok pushes your video. You can't control whether some famous person randomly finds you. But you can control whether when that moment finally comes, you actually have something worth watching. Because imagine getting the opportunity you've been begging for. You finally get on Streamer University. Kai walks up to you. There's cameras everywhere. Thousands of people are watching. And then you've got nothing. No idea, no personality you've developed, no interesting skill, no plan. You're just standing there thinking the opportunity itself was supposed to make you entertaining. That's backwards. The opportunity is supposed to show everybody what you've already been working on. So yeah, bro, go be a streamer. Go chase it. Maybe you actually are the next Kai. I don't fucking know. But before you quit your job, buy an IRL backpack, camp outside Streamer University, and tell your mom you're about to make the whole family rich. Just ask yourself one question. If I wasn't me, would I actually watch this shit? James Thurber once said, nowadays, most men lead lives of noisy desperation, which just goes to show how it doesn't matter if we are in Roman and Greek times or 2066 utopian times. Everything can change, but we as humans do not literally TikTok everybody screaming into a camera trying to prove they escape being normal. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and giving my thoughts time to listen to. I'm still getting used to freestyling these topics and having a unique way of explaining these social situations we all think about but don't voice. And this is only my second video, so I'm getting better and better and only learning. But again, thank you guys for watching. And if you haven't, don't be afraid to leave me a comment on other social topics our generation faces. And I'll see you guys on the next one.